going to officially call the meeting to order. And the first thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the August the 19th meeting. And has everyone been able to read those? And do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The next thing that isn't on our agenda, which Shane will talk to, is about these Shop Small Saturday bag.
Yes, ma'am. As everybody knows, this Friday I met with Cliff Joyner and Joanne Cooper from the Chamber of National Chamber of Commerce. They were very excited. We wanted to work with them on the Small Shops Local Day. As the email stated that Hill and Bunch and Providence Bank kind of handles the entertainment. I know we said we would do that for them. So they proposed that we could provide, like they used to do about 5 years ago, when American Express was helping out with Small Shop Local, a canvas bag to give out to all the business owners in the MSD district. 15 to 25 per business owner is what they kind of gave us an estimate ballpark figure to work with. And we would give it out to everybody on that day, the first 15 customers. I told her that I could present it to the board this evening, being that we have to have a vote on it by, they need to have it in hand by November 30th. And she did say they did like this style right here. They felt like this style was better beneficial for the town. She also, instead of putting Small Shop Locals like it is on this one, just put the town of Nashville logo, as you see behind us, put our town logo on the front of it, and then just give it out.
Total number?
I started pricing on Friday after I meet at 4 o'clock this afternoon. You could run between $600 to $1,000.
What's the total number of bags that you need?
She needed 15, so you look about right about 300 something per every business if you do 15.
How much? Sorry? What was it?
15 bags per merchant to give out to the first 15 customers. You're looking at averaging about roughly around 375, I think, when we were talking.
And that's only in the MSD district.
Right, and I did explain to her, she did say some outskirt merchants do participate on that day, but I told her we use MSD funding, only would be allowed for the MSD businesses to be able to participate in it.
I'd suggest maybe we give Sean the directive for just approving a maximum amount towards purchase of bags.
Okay,
And then maybe we could look at 3 designs and options to vote on.
okay,
So that way we can get rolling.
that sounds good.
Are y'all fine with maybe not to exceed $600 for bags?
I found that, I can
Any
think
left, if we have leftover bags, obviously we can use them for other things in the future.
Right, that's why she said use the Nashville logo
Yeah.
on this side.
Can someone put that in a motion?
Was the price difference the number or the style of the bag?
It probably depends on the style.
It's the
and
style of the bag. They said the other kind, you see the grocery store style, they want more sturdy than this style, so they kind of said this would be the best option for us.
And that one was how much?
This one right now, when I started just going on one website, looking on Friday, you can look between anything between $600 to $1,000, depending on how many you order. I think the bigger the bulk, the better bang you get for your bulk, or it's more, you get a better discount.
Can we put that in a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve purchase of downtown Nashville bags for Shop Small Saturday, not to exceed $600.
Okay, we have that in, we have a motion for that. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, all right. First of all, I want to welcome everyone tonight to the MSD meeting, and it's so nice to see a lot of people here because normally we don't have a lot of people at our meetings, and so thank you guys for coming out. I also am excited about the facade grants and other things that we have to offer through the MSD district. These funds are only to be given to the people actually in the MSD district, and you have to be paying taxes into the actual MSD in order to actually receive any funding for any grants or anything offered. So right now we're gonna actually turn it over to Shane so that he can sort of go over a little bit more about what the MSD wants to offer the merchants or the business owners for the MSD area. Sean?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Me and Ms. Jones have worked on the presentation and went over everything, all the applications. As we stated earlier, for everybody who just got in, we have applications over there for the DIG grant, the facade grant. Also, we do have 3 vacancies on our board, so we do have applications to fill out for the advisory board. Pretty much the facade grant, deed grant, this is a informative meeting. The purpose of downtown Nashville Development Incentive Grant is to encourage reinvestment in downtown Nashville. The program covers substantial rehabilitation of older buildings and new infill development. Incentive grants are given yearly for 5 years. Me and Ms. Jones both come from different jurisdictions, so we have seen this. And the prime example would be right here, the Vino Market. This person did not apply for the deed grant from what we were told, but as you can see back in 2016, this is how it looked. 2018, same style. 2021 is what you see now. 2024, of course, Miss Joanne Polk Carter's here. That's her business, the Vino Market. That's what you see as of today. To be eligible for the deed grant, a current list of owner partners, you have to turn in officers, director, and staff. We need a copy of the deed, project pro forma and a lease if applicable, sealed building plans for renovation or new construction, and you must be a taxpayer to the MSD district, as we stated earlier. How the program works for the applicant, Ms. Jones, you want to explain that? I'll let you take over a little bit.
Okay, so how the program works for the applicant, if you see in the beginning, the grant is only available over a 5-year period. After that 1 year at 100% tax rate. The next year, which is year 2, we go to the 80% tax rate. Year 3, which would be 60% tax rate. Year 4 is 40% tax rate. And then when you get to the 5th year, that is your 20% tax rate. And so there's a breakdown, an example of how the grant works, and Sean can expound a little bit more.
So we break the grant down, and pretty much as we said, we offset the tax amount. So if you, once the seal, the job is done and you got the CO from the county, your first year the town will come in and pay pretty much up to 100% tax rate, or we work this form to tell you how much we can pay. So in this right here, Municipal Service District has an unrented 2-story building. Right now, before renovation, taxes were $50,000. 0.67 annual county tax, 0.58 cent annual town tax. The proposed development for construction now will raise the tax value to $350,000. So your county tax will go to $2,345. Your town tax will go to $2,030, and your $4,375. Pretty much we'll work the formula out. So when we do everything for the first year, we will pay up to $3,750 of tax money to your taxes for doing the redevelopment. But it has to be after the project is completed. CO, everything's been passed by Nash County. Pretty much with the facade grant, as you can see before and after. The purpose of the facade grant program is to provide business and commercial property owners an economic incentive to renovate the exterior facade of the building located within the MSD district. Eligibility, Ms. Jones?
So, to be eligible, any property owner or business tenant located in the MSD business district, tenants must have property owner's written consent. There's 1 grant award per property per project. And also to receive grant funding, you must be, again, a taxpayer in the MSD district. The facade may include roofs and awnings if the roof is predominantly visible from the front view of the building. And that's a change that, if I'm not mistaken, that'll be current, that's up to date now. It wasn't before, but that is something that has now been added. So there's guidelines to this. So each product that you have with any grant has guidelines. So projects will be awarded to those that meet the approval of the Downtown Nashville Strong Committee and Town Council. The proposed facade grants must meet all code requirements of the town of Nashville, Nash County, and the state of North Carolina, which is like all projects. The facade design proposals and applications must receive approval from the Downtown Strong Committee and Town Council prior to the work beginning. Only renovations or restorations to the outside facade, which are permanent improvements, are eligible. Grants are not eligible for just general or deferred maintenance. All work must be started within 45 days of the signed notification of the grant award and must be completed within 6 months of the start date. Failure to comply with the guidelines will result in the loss of grant funding. And just like all grants, they have the guidelines. So again, so what we try to do is kind of give you a visual, because I'm a visual person. I don't know about anybody else. But here are some things. Like you might have, you got a business. And the doors, sometimes it's a business that they get worn. So you might need exterior doors, exterior windows, Might be some lighting that's needed that's permanently affixed. Might need, and sometimes painting goes a long way where we think just a little bit of paint, everybody was like, well, paint ain't gonna do much, but it makes a total difference when you're trying to bring people into your business. It's a different point of view. And all of what we're trying to do for the facade grant is bringing in business that'll make downtown Nashville even stronger. This also includes awnings, the brick and masonry, roofing, there's facade materials, signage, and there's much more. And again, that becomes the approval if there's anything that's part of the application. So up here you'll see a different kind of example. So at the top you'll see what the business looked like prior to, and then this is their after. So if you're going to a business, the first one you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to go to that business, because at the end of the day, we're trying to bring business to everybody. We're trying to become stronger together. Now, when you look at the after, it's a little bit more welcoming. Makes you want to go like, okay, that's a little bit better. And so these are basically examples of what can be. It's just, if you can look, it's just a little bit of paint goes a long way, whether it's a paint, a door, whatever the case may be. So these are some examples.
This is a 50% reimbursement match granting program, meaning that the amount of the grant will be equal to 50% of the cost of improvements, subject to a maximum grant of $5,000. The final award amounts is based on documentation of all actual costs. All recipients must be submitted to the Town of Nashville Plan Director prior to reimbursement. The grant agreement will require that the grant be repaid in whole or in parts to the town if the property is not maintained or the grantee fails to comply with the grant program guidelines. Here's the contact information for us here at the Town of Nashville. Of course, our town manager, Mr. Randy Lanston, myself, the planning director, Sean Lucas, Ms. Thomasine Jones, our planner, and also, of course, I believe everybody knows these friendly faces up front, the Downtown MSD Municipal Service Board. So now here's the part where everybody can get involved. The question and answer session. Do we have any questions here that anybody from the audience would like to ask that we can try to answer? If not, we can get you your best answer within a few days.
Does anyone have any questions for anyone here on the MSD or with the town of Nashville?
This may not be directly related, but are there any plans to have anything like a survey, for example, for people who have taken the grant to see how we can improve this program going forward?
Not at the present moment. Right now, I don't think, and I believe we could ask Sam Lanston, I don't think we have hardly had nobody to apply for either one of the grants. So this is why we're having this meeting tonight, to kind of get the information out to people in the MSD district so we can have people start applying for them.
So, make sure it's clear, there's two different grants, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
Facade
And the dig grant.
Yeah.
The facade is pretty much the one I think everybody's kind of here for, because the dig one is if you're doing a total renovation of a building. So I believe everybody probably here for the facade grant tonight to learn about it. Yes, ma'am.
Are there any surrounding municipalities that you can give examples who have done either of these grants?
Most of our surrounding communities have these grants and programs. Wilson, downtown Wilson's taking advantage of them, Rocky Mount, Tarboro, so you can go in these communities and see. Franklinton would be another one to take a good look at, where they've had a lot of renovation for their downtown buildings. So it's a pretty routine program. We just have not had people take advantage of the facade program, and we've had it before this group has really been around.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, also, we did have some, it wasn't with the MSD, but we did have like a downtown grant at one time that many years ago, that is how some of the people got their earnings that they currently have on their building, is through the grants that were given out at that particular time.
It was an earlier version of the facade grant?
Right, it was many years, Randy, do you happen to know how many years ago that was?
It's been a good 7 years ago.
But, this will allow people that do want additional earnings or some makeup to their current buildings to actually apply for the grant.
Any other questions from the audience?
Okay?
Wait, I got one. You've mentioned in the past that you were very interested in the awnings, particularly hoping that people would
Yeah, the awnings are included, and you drive down Wash Street and you can see there's many awnings that need taken care of, and so you need to take advantage of. If everybody in this room took advantage of this program, we still have funds. So we need people to do it because the money's there, the need is there, and it's gonna improve our town and improve the businesses in the town. So it's important, I think it's important to do. I mean, you're paying the tax, so we need to take advantage of the program.
Is there anything other than awnings that you guys are hoping or thinking that would be a good need for? I mean, you've identified awnings, but is there like painting? What would be the number 2 wish?
Well, I mean, if people needed to actually, paint their building, that actually could go for that too. You just can't, if you need an awning and you needed painting and so you could have like the whole punch list, and this is what it's gonna cost, and we could match up to $5,000 of.
So basically anything on the front, like
Yes.
windows?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I think somebody, did you have a question?
Yeah, he said he had plenty of money. Now, what happens if everybody don't get on board? Do they still do each individual one? Or does everybody have to do it to get it? And if they don't, everybody do it, will they take that money and add it back to the people that do it, let them do more?
I think it's just a $5,000 limit is all we would do. So if you're the only one that applies, let's say nobody else applies, we'll just grant you up to that $5,000 limit.
So you won't add to it?
Yes, sir, correct.
But it doesn't have to be just like, if you choose to do it, Brian, that means that, we're not gonna stop you from doing it because no one else wants to do it.
Right.
If you wanna beautify your building, we're not gonna hinder you from from actually applying for the matching grant because others don't wanna do it. And really it's, the awnings can protect your windows from, water damage and all of that. So, I mean, there's a lot of benefits to the awnings other than just having an awning that actually looks good on your building.
Can people apply more than once?
So I think
They
we
can-
had it as one award per project.
That's
So
it.
if you're a project, it's different the next year. But the way this group has budgeted the amount every year, we've budgeted an amount for the facade grant.
So
We've
if-
had the tool and no one's taken advantage of it.
So
So
say
it's
if
first
somebody,
come, first served.
so say if somebody successfully got the grant to do a certain amount of work, that doesn't preclude them from another year reapplying.
That's correct,
That's
because, like, for instance, if they only wanna do the awning this year, and they choose to do painting the next year, they can come back and they can apply for that, another grant for the next year. It just depends on how much they're wanting to put into the project each year.
Any more questions from the audience? Yes,
If you reapply for the next year, is it still the limit is 5,000 total?
it is.
So you would only, if you only spent 3 the first year, you'd have 2 for the next year.
It's 5,000 per project.
Per
Per
project, that's it.
project. Okay.
So that means if you do, like
$5,000.
$20,000 was your projects for, 10 for 1 year and 10 for the other, we're gonna give you a $5,000 grant toward that $10,000 project. Is basically
And
what
then
we're
the
doing.
next
Next year
year,
you could apply for the
and do another 5,000 towards my $10,000.
And it's all, the important thing to note is that it is all reimbursement based. So you have to do the work and complete the work and show that it's been completed and receipts, and then it's reimbursed.
And it is a first come, first served because we've got to max out, if we max out. So, but if you choose to do something every year, we can't deny you those funds as long as you're within the grant parameters.
Can you explain that matching
Match.
program, how does that work?
So 1 second, somebody's gonna get towed. If you parked at 123 South Body Street in a driveway and came here, the lady's getting ready to tow you. So I don't want to point any fingers, but we'll look away if you need to walk out and get your car. If not, it's not gonna be there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Martin, you has a question
Is
again?
it the matching, just explain that, the matching process again, how does that work?
So it's a dollar for dollar amount. So if your total project is $10,000, then you have to show. If your total project is only $5,000, then the town can only award you $2,500. So it's just a dollar for dollar amount based off the total project with a max town appropriation of $5,000.
But is that gonna be a match with a tax deduction off your county tax or match with cash?
It's match reimbursement for cash, so it's just the fact that the facade grant doesn't have anything to do with the tax reimbursement. The only grant program with that is the DIG grant that we refer to, which is usually a major renovation and tied to redevelopment opportunities.
At the beginning, there was two different
Yeah.
discussed. They kind of ran together, but there was two different discussed.
Well, did I misunderstand her while ago, something about a roof involved if you could see it from the road?
Yep.
But the whole roof has to be redone.
Right, but if you can see any part of the roof from the road, you can get approved to do a new roof.
We've
We will
identified-
consider it, yeah.
We've identified, I think, 10 of them, right, or 8 of them, like that. So if it's in one of those that we identified,
It's primarily the houses that are in the MSD
That's
district.
used as commercial, yeah.
Like Scott's got one where the CPA is in right now. That roof of that building is part of the facade, so it's eligible.
Well, everything on Main Street would be in there.
Well, you can't see much roof at all from the street view of any of the downtown buildings, so you'd have to make a compelling argument.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the Dos Hermanos Mexican restaurant? I think the roof can be seen by the road in it.
Can you pull that one up on your GIS?
It's in front of the Waffle House.
What's the address for Dos Hermanos?
Yeah.
What's the address?
323 West Washington Street.
It's typically, it's a pitch roof and not a flat roof.
Can you put that on this, do the street view and then put it on the screen? Spin it. That's the insurance center. There's Dos Hermanos. It's got a flat roof. It wouldn't qualify for roof.
Why, just curiosity, what's the difference in the flat roof and the A roof? Roof? You see the trim ring, they see any part of it.
This is the majority.
It got blurred out. Somebody must call Google. There was a person on the street that day. Let's see what we get from here. Yeah, here you go, from over here.
Yeah.
But you show, can you show the insurance center?
Oh, the insurance is beside it.
Right, to see exactly, see how the front of that
Yeah,
is,
sure.
so we could do funding for that portion of the roof,
Well, that ain't a roof.
but
But it's a facade.
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 I think that's where the clause where it can't be used for deferred maintenance comes in, where if we did that, we'd probably be opening up the program to a lot of in-between.
But if we get, if any funding is given toward the roof, it would have, the roof would have to be redone, the full roof. We couldn't just actually just do for that part. You would have to, state that you were gonna redo the whole roof.
Any more questions from the audience?
Is this just for the business on Main Street?
Can you pull up the MSD map? That would be
Yes,
helpful. This is for any business in the MSD district, and Nashville is pretty unique by having a large district that includes some of those commercial business areas.
I cannot get the map. We won't let it get into the
If they spur a major redevelopment, so if it is just a roof repair, it would not qualify. It would have to show that it is adding new jobs, new personal property, real property investment. So it has to show an increase in tax value.
Or how about if you redo the front of the building, change the look of it or something, is that a facade or would that be, the digger gonna be either one?
I would say if you're gonna do stuff just to the front, that the facade grant is what it would qualify for. Do you think that's?
But if you did like a big renovation, like the roof and everything, that might qualify for the other one?
It's going to depend.
Because you're actually
You have
putting
to-
in jobs to increase the revenues.
I think I don't think I dropped a copy of it. Yeah, I didn't.
I cannot access my file on the town file, but right here, all this area that's shaded, and I'm sorry, we can get all emailed out to everybody. This is the MSD district for the town of Nashville. And we'll send it out on a blast email to everybody in the morning to the MSD district map so that you can locate your property.
Basically CVS to 64, and then up Orange Street to the junction, and then the side road there where the cafe is.
Right, yes, sir.
And Church,
And Church Street.
At Church Street.
and Biden.
And we'll send it out to everybody in the morning, the actual map of it.
Do you have any other questions or anything?
I think there's a good example of what you were talking about. So the DIG grant would apply for anything that is of substantial rehabilitation, and that's defined at the bottom of the front page of the DIG grant
I mean, could it be
application.
like a percentage value of the building?
Yeah, I think it said is defined as a rehabilitation that will cost at minimum $40 per square foot, making it habitable, usable for at least one floor of the building and at least triple the pre-development tax value,
Okay,
if that helps.
And that,
Major.
right.
and this information's over there as well.
Yeah, and it's on the website too.
And we do have, if anyone here is interested in being part of that advisory board, we do have some positions that we need filled. And so please feel free to pick up that application and get that back into us. And
And I believe we opened that up to anybody who has a passion for downtown.
Correct,
You
yes.
don't have to be a business owner or live in downtown MSD, you just have to care. So,
Correct, that's right, yes, sir.
Quick question on that. I actually filled out an application for the board. When would a decision be made on that?
Mr. Woodard?
Yes.
We got your application, Mr. Woodard. We are getting ready. Tonight is actually, the day was actually what we turned the day cut off, but we want to at least have an application tonight for anybody that was coming to the meeting to be able to take home and fill out. So if you're interested in serving, just get an application, get it back to them within the next day or two, because we have to get it to council to make approval for it. But we do have yours on file, Mr. Woodard. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And we actually meet again on October the 21st, so we'll probably be discussing them at
Yes,
that
ma'am, we'll
time.
get it to the board and all
And so,
that.
and then once we discuss it, the MSD, then we'll get the actual town council will vote on it. So thank you for filling out the application.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
And I will mention, Amy mentioned our next meeting date. Those are open meetings that we would like to encourage property owners or business owners. You don't have to be the property owner, but you can operate the business downtown and lease. We definitely encourage you to attend and get involved.
I wondered if it might be beneficial for you to explain that people don't have to, they can be a renter and apply for this.
Right. Well, they can be a renter and they can apply for the facade grant, but the owner of that property would still need to be involved because it's their property. But if the renter wants to like do an investment to the property or get an owning or whatever they choose to do, and the property owner agrees with it, then they can, as a renter, pay for those repairs and get the reimbursed for the through the MSD.
That's just for the facade though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And we would just ask the renter to have the owner submit something in writing
Right.
to the town saying that they do approve what they're doing.
We would want the owner to be very much so involved in that process.
and the meetings are monthly and they're not hours. It's usually an hour or less. And sometimes we even skip one, so it's not 12 a year, it's probably 10.
10, correct,
Yeah.
yes, sir, that's right.
So it's not crazy.
They're at 5:15.
That's,
Yes,
you know,
ma'am, right here.
that's so you can leave a normal 5 o'clock job, which most people don't have that because you're business owners.
And normally we're done by 6. I mean, it's very, very rare that we even have an hour meeting. So do we have any other questions or any comments that you guys would like to make?
Before we adjourn, I will say. And please don't forget, if you have not, everybody, I believe, has received this in the email blast we've been sending out. If you are interested in partnering with the town this year, For all the new business owners who are not aware, the town will no longer be using the previous company we did. We're going to be keeping everything right here locally in Nashville. We partner with Mr. Tim Glasgow. Tim probably made every one of you business owners signs in the town. Tim will be working with us making banners. The cost this year is only $200 to get your banner put on the pole. It will be up there from April 2025 to April 2026. Right now, we've had several people already come to the town applying, not applying, just encouraging that they want to be in there. So if you would like to be part of this, just get in contact with us. The cutoff day is December 1st that we need to know so we can go ahead and start getting things in line, give Mr. Glasgow time to get everything lined up.
And they look like that. You want to zoom in on one of them,
Yes, sir.
Sean?
And in the past, they've been like around $800, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so this is a huge, you know, savings for the people that want to have their banners up.
And they're how much now?
They're
$200. I'm trying, let's say just one across the street that we can get. The realtor lady. Right here. Keys to me. So this is how the banner will look. If you ride through our downtown, we have them all up now. It's only $200. It's a good way to showcase your business, nonprofit organization in the Nashville downtown area.
And they don't get to pick their pole, right?
No, if you are a previous person who's been participating in the program, of course, we would give you the courtesy of having your original poll back, but all new owners will just be going and staff the polls as we give them.
That's only for businesses within the district.
No, that's open to anybody in Nashville. We even had somebody from the City of Rocky, Mount business who's called wanting to put their banner in Nashville about their business. So the word has definitely been getting out.
And for $200 advertisement for a whole year, I think that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And if you want two, then you're welcome to get two.
You want to get as many as you want.
You can get a discount.
Unfortunately,
No
we can't do
discount.
that, unfortunately.
So, but anyway, if there's nothing else that needs to be discussed, our next meeting will be October the 21st. And please feel free to come over here to the table, and if you want to do one of the applications, or if you have any questions about what we are trying to do here for the MSD district, please ask one of us, ask someone from the town. We'll be glad to answer any questions. And so without any further business, do I have a motion that we adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Opposed? All right.